Hello, my name is Max Braithwaite, and I am the author of Why Shoot the Teacher. This is my book. I'm here today to talk about why I wrote this book and what it means to me and everything in between. I'm from Tacoma, Saskatchewan. I was born on December 7th, 1911, and I grew up in Nokomis and I spent a lot of time in the towns and cities around it. I eventually decided I wanted to become a writer, so I moved out to Ontario and I lived in a few different communities. I lived in Orangeville, Port Caroline, and I now live in Brighton. The idea for the book came to me kind of out of the blue. It was really innocent. I decided that I was going to name the main character Max after myself and kind of live vicariously through him. I wrote this book because I wanted to create something that was relatable for readers, and I wanted to showcase what the Depression really was and how my childhood was and the big lack of jobs that there really was. And so that's what I did. I added a lot of humor into the book if you read it. It's very funny, I guess. I did that because I wanted it to be something that talked about the Depression in a way that was real and that we all had to go on with our lives. And Max Brown, who is the main character, that's what he did. So he graduates college and he's looking for a job. And so he gets a call that there's a job in Willow Green, which is a really small prairie town far away from him. And he's a city boy who moves out there, and he is taken back by the way that people treat him and how he's getting manipulated and everything. And eventually he meets a girl named Alice, and Alice is a farmer's wife who obviously is not very happy in her marriage. And so there's a lot of stories in the book. There's Max trying to get along with his students, Max trying to get involved with Alex, and Max trying to earn respect as a teacher in Willow Green. So the first thing I'm going to read to you is Max's first impression of Alice. It's very vivid, but it just shows like how early his feelings started from her. Like the first time he seen her, he knew that he liked her and he knew that he wanted to be with her. So here goes. Of young girls, there were only three. Two unbelievably homely, and the other unbelievably beautiful. A dark-haired, round-cheeked, full-lipped, thick-bosomed girl whose shapely legs and thighs, which showed often as she was swung out, made my mouth go dry and my loins ache just to see them. So I wrote this part because Max and Alice's relationship is a big component in the book, and I created it to kind of shed some light on a dark time, if you, like, for lack of better words. My book is it's comical, and it's not a really serious book, and there's lots of joking, but in like the grand scheme of things, I created it because I wanted to show people how, like, someone's life that was during the Depression. This was very common, and you had to move away and you had to leave everything just to find a job to make a living. I will read this next part I'm going to read to you is just a little insert about Max Brown, the main character, being scared of the school inspector because he's coming. And I'm not going to give away too much about the book because I want everyone to read it, but here goes. To the beginning teacher, the school inspector is an ogre. One day, when you least expect him, when your brightest pupils are all absent and all the dullards present, when your work is unprepared and your spirits low, without warning, he opens the door at the back of the room and is upon you. During my years of teaching on the prairies, I often speculated on how a man in a car could approach an isolated schoolhouse, unnoticed by children who spent 2/3 of their time gazing out the window and can spot a jackrabbit at half a mile. Finally, I concluded that, ogre-like inspectors have supernatural powers. I picked this part because I just wanted to show you what I was talking about. I know I've been rambling on, but this book is not a serious book. It's just a nice take on a man who's trying to create a life for himself in a world where it's really hard to. And yeah, read my book. It's funny. I like it, obviously. Thank you.